I'm Grace, 22 years old, and 2 weeks ago I collapsed on stage in front of 3,000 people on the day I was supposed to give the valedictorian speech. The doctors said I had a brain tumor. They needed to operate immediately. They called my parents. No one answered. 3 days later, when I finally woke up surrounded by beeping machines and IV tubes, the first thing I saw wasn't my family's worried faces. It was an Instagram post from my sister. The whole family smiling in front of the Eiffel Tower with the caption, "Family trip in Paris. Finally, no stress, no drama." I said nothing. I didn't comment. I didn't call to confront them. Until 65 missed calls from Dad appeared on my screen along with one text. "We need you. Answer immediately." That's when I realized they weren't calling because they missed me. They were calling because they needed something else entirely. Before I continue, if you find this story worth hearing, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely want to hear how this ends. And if you're watching right now, drop a comment telling me where you're from and what time it is there. Now, let me take you back 4 weeks ago, to the day everything started falling apart. 4 weeks before graduation. I'm standing in my childhood kitchen, watching Mom flip through a stack of wedding magazines. Not for me, of course. For Meredith. My older sister just got engaged, and suddenly the entire house revolves around her timeline. "Grace, can you pick up the napkin samples from the printer tomorrow?" Mom doesn't look up. Meredith's too busy with dress fittings. "I have finals, Mom." "You'll manage. You always do." That's the thing about being the reliable one. Everyone assumes you'll just handle it. I've been handling things for 4 years now, working 25 hours a week at a coffee shop while maintaining a 4.0 GPA, paying my own tuition through scholarships and tips. Meanwhile, Meredith's entire education was funded by our parents. Every semester. No questions asked. "Mom, I actually wanted to talk to you about graduation." I keep my voice casual. "I need to get something to wear for the ceremony. Maybe we could go shopping this weekend?" Mom finally looks up, but her eyes are already drifting back to the magazines. "Sweetie, you're so good at finding deals online. I'm sure you'll figure something out. I need to focus on your sister's engagement party. It's in 2 weeks. But graduation is..." "Grace." Her tone sharpens. "Your sister is bringing her fiancé's parents. Everything needs to be perfect." I nod. I always nod. Later that evening, I'm folding laundry in my old room when I hear Mom on the phone with her friend Linda. "Oh, the graduation?" "Yes, she's valedictorian. Can you believe it?" A pause. A laugh. "But honestly, the timing is terrible. Meredith's engagement party is that same week, and that takes priority. Grace understands. She's always been so independent. Independent. That's the word they use when they mean forgettable." That night, I call the only person who's ever asked how I'm actually doing. Grandpa Howard picks up on the second ring. "Gracie, I was just thinking about you." Something in my chest loosens. "Hey, Grandpa. Tell me everything. How are finals? How's the speech coming along?" I sink onto my bed, phone pressed to my ear. For the next 20 minutes, I actually talk. About my thesis. About the speech I've rewritten 6 times. About how terrified I am of standing in front of thousands of people. "Grace," Grandpa says when I finish, "do you have your dress yet? Shoes? Do you need anything?" My throat tightens. "I'm fine, Grandpa. Really." He's quiet for a moment, the kind of quiet that means he doesn't believe me. "Your grandmother would be so proud of you," he finally says. "You know that, right? She always said you had her spirit." I never met Grandma Eleanor. She died before I was born. But I've seen pictures. Everyone says I look exactly like her. The same dark hair, the same stubborn chin. "I'll be there, Grace. Front row. I wouldn't miss it for the world." "Thanks, Grandpa." My voice cracks slightly. "That means a lot." And Grace, I have something for you. A gift. Your grandmother wanted you to have it when you graduated. I've been holding on to it for years. Before I can ask what it is, Meredith burst into my room without knocking. Grace, did you use my dry shampoo? I can't find it anywhere. I cover the phone. I don't use your stuff, Meredith. She rolls her eyes, flashes her engagement ring like it's a weapon. Whatever. Oh, congratulations on the valedictorian thing, I guess. Then she's gone. Grandpa heard everything. He says nothing, but his silence speaks volumes. 1 week before graduation. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, 3 cups of coffee, and pure spite. Finals are done. My thesis is submitted. I've been pulling double shifts at the coffee shop because rent is due, and I refuse to ask my parents for help. They'd just use it as ammunition later. We helped you with rent that one time, remember? My head has been pounding for 3 days straight. I tell myself it's stress. It's always stress. Mom calls while I'm wiping down tables after closing. Grace, I need you home this weekend. The engagement party is Saturday and I need help with setup. Mom, I'm working. Call in sick. Meredith needs you. I grip the phone so hard my knuckles turn white. What about what I need? Silence. Then, Grace, don't be dramatic. It's one weekend. Your sister only gets engaged once. And I only graduate once, I think. Valedictorian, 4 years of perfect grades while working myself to exhaustion. But I don't say that. I never say that. Fine, I'll be there. I hang up and immediately feel the familiar ache behind my eyes intensify. The room tilts slightly. I grab the counter. You okay? My coworker Jamie looks concerned. Yeah, just tired. That night, I have a nosebleed that won't stop for 15 minutes. I tell myself it's the dry air. It's nothing. On the drive home, I get a text from Meredith. Don't forget to pick up the custom napkins and wear something nice. Tyler's parents will be there. Not how are you, not thanks for helping, just orders. My phone buzzes again. Dad this time. Can you pick up Aunt Carol from the airport Friday? Mom and I are busy with Meredith's party prep. I pull over to the side of the road. My hands are shaking, and I can't tell if it's rage or something else entirely. Rachel shows up at my apartment unannounced with Thai food and a worried expression. You look like death, she says, pushing past me into the kitchen. Thanks, love you too. Rachel Miller has been my best friend since freshman orientation. She's the only person who's seen me cry over my family. She's also brutally honest, which I both love and hate. Grace. She sets down the food and turns to face me. When's the last time you slept? Actually slept? I sleep. Liar. She crosses her arms. I talked to Jamie. She said you almost passed out at work yesterday. I was just dizzy. It's finals stress. It's your family stress. Rachel's voice softens. Grace, you're destroying yourself for people who won't even show up to your graduation. They're coming to graduation. Are they? I open my mouth to argue, then close it, because the truth is I don't know. Mom hasn't mentioned it in weeks. Dad keeps forgetting the date. Meredith doesn't even know I'm valedictorian. They'll come, I say weakly. It's my graduation. Rachel sits down across from me. Babe, in 4 years they haven't come to a single award ceremony. Not one. Remember when you won that teaching fellowship? Who was in the audience? You. And Grandpa. Exactly. She reaches across the table and takes my hand. Grace, you don't have to keep setting yourself on fire to keep them warm. They're not even looking at the flame. My eyes sting. I blink rapidly. That night after Rachel leaves, I'm brushing my teeth when my vision suddenly doubles. I grip the sink. The headache is back, worse than before. I should see a doctor, I think. But there's no time. The engagement party is tomorrow. I swallow 2 more ibuprofen and go to bed. My phone lights up, a text from Rachel. If anything happens, call your grandpa. He's the only one who actually cares. I don't respond. But I don't delete the message either. Meredith's engagement party. I've been on my feet for 6 hours, setting up chairs, arranging flowers, refilling champagne glasses, playing the role I was born into, the invisible support system. The backyard looks stunning. White lights strung across the oak trees, a three-tiered cake that costs more than my monthly rent. 40 guests in cocktail attire, laughing and toasting to my sister's future. No one asks about mine. Grace, more champagne over here. Mom waves from across the lawn. I grab another bottle and make my way through the crowd. My head is pounding. I smile through it. Meredith is holding court near the fountain, Tyler's arm around her waist. She's 3 glasses of champagne deep and glowing. Everyone, this is my little sister. She pulls me into the spotlight. Grace does everything around here. Seriously, I don't know what we'd do without her. Scattered applause, a few polite smiles. Then Meredith leans in, her voice carrying just far enough. She's so good at, helping. She's going to be a teacher. Can you imagine? Wiping noses for a living. Laughter. Light, dismissive laughter. I keep smiling. My face hurts. Oh, and she's graduating next week. Meredith adds like an afterthought. Veil something? What's it called again? Valedictorian, I say quietly. Right, that. Meredith waves her hand. She's always been the smart one. But smart doesn't buy Louboutins, does it? More laughter. I excuse myself to the kitchen, lean against the counter, breathe. Through the window, I notice an older man watching the scene. I recognize him, Mr. Patterson, Grandpa's former colleague. His expression is unreadable. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. Your grandfather should know how your family treats you. I look up. Mr. Patterson raises his glass slightly in my direction, then turns away. My hands are trembling. But this time, I don't think it's just the humiliation. After the party, I'm alone in the kitchen, elbow deep in dishes. Everyone else is in the living room, cooing over engagement photos. Mom walks in, face flushed with wine and satisfaction. Grace, I have wonderful news. I don't turn around. What is it? We're going to Paris, the whole family. Tyler's treating us to celebrate the engagement. My hands stop moving in the soapy water. Paris? When? Next Saturday. We fly out Friday night. Friday night. Graduation is Saturday morning. Slowly, I turn around. Mom, my graduation is Saturday. She waves her hand. I know, sweetie, but the flights were already booked when we realized. Tyler got such a good deal. You're missing my graduation for a vacation. Don't say it like that. Mom frowns. It's not just a vacation. It's for your sister. I'm valedictorian, Mom. I have to give a speech. And you'll be wonderful. You don't need us there, Grace. You've always been so self-sufficient. I stare at her, waiting for her to hear herself, waiting for something to click. Nothing does. Dad agrees with this? As if summoned, Dad appears in the doorway. He can't meet my eyes. Grace, your mother and I discussed it. Meredith needs family support right now. She's going through a big life change. And graduating valedictorian isn't a big life change? You're strong. Dad's voice is tired. You don't need us the way your sister does. The room tilts. I grab the counter. Grace? Mom's voice sounds far away. You look pale. I'm fine. I'm not fine. My vision is blurring at the edges. The headache is screaming now, a sharp pressure behind my left eye. I need to go, I manage. Early shift tomorrow. I walk out before they can respond. In the car, I sit in the darkness for 10 minutes. Then I drive to my empty apartment and cry until I can't breathe. 3 days before graduation. I'm lying on my apartment floor because getting up feels impossible. Rachel's voice crackles through speakerphone. They're skipping your graduation for a vacation? A vacation? It's for Meredith's engagement. Grace, stop making excuses for them. I'm not making excuses. I'm just accepting reality. That's worse. I stare at the ceiling. There's a water stain shaped like a broken heart. Fitting. 4 years, Rachel continues. 4 years you worked yourself half to death, and they can't postpone one trip? Apparently not. She goes quiet, then softer. How are you feeling? Physically, I mean. You sounded weird on the phone yesterday. I'm fine. Grace. Really, just tired. That night, I wake up at 3 a.m. with the worst headache of my life. The pain is so intense I actually whimper. I stumble to the bathroom. Blood. My nose is bleeding again. Heavy this time. It won't stop. I sit on the cold tile floor, head tilted back, waiting. 15 minutes. 20. Finally, it slows. I look at myself in the mirror. Dark circles. Hollow cheeks. When did I start looking like a ghost? I should see a doctor. But graduation is in 3 days, and I have a speech to memorize. I text Rachel. I'm fine, going back to sleep. Then I open my photos. Scroll until I find one of Grandpa and me from last Christmas. He's the only one looking at the camera, the only one standing next to me. I think about what Rachel said. If anything happens, call your grandpa. He's the only one who actually cares. I save his number as my second emergency contact, just in case. Then I swallow more ibuprofen and tell myself 3 more days. I can survive 3 more days. If you've ever felt invisible to the people who were supposed to love you most, if you've ever been the one everyone relies on but no one actually sees, comment invisible below. I see you. I was you. And if you want to know what happened at my graduation, what really happened when I stepped onto that stage, stay with me. Because the next part, I'll never forget it as long as I live. One day before graduation, Grandpa Howard calls while I'm practicing my speech for the 100th time. Grace, are you ready for tomorrow? As ready as I'll ever be. I set down my index cards. Are you sure you can make it? I know the drive is long. Wild horses couldn't keep me away. I can hear the smile in his voice. I'm leaving tonight, staying at a hotel near campus. I want to be there early. My throat tightens. Grandpa, you don't have to. I want to. I need to give you something. He pauses. Something your grandmother wanted you to have. Grandma? She left it for you before she passed. Made me promise to wait until you graduated college. She knew you'd make it, Grace. Even before you were born, she knew. I don't know what to say. Grandpa, what is it? You'll see tomorrow. Just know that your grandmother and I have always believed in you. Even when... He trails off. Even when what? Even when others forgot to. A long pause. Grace, did your father ever tell you I offered to help with your tuition? What? This is news to me. No, he always said you couldn't afford to help both of us. Grandpa makes a sound, somewhere between a sigh and a bitter laugh. Is that what he told you? Grandpa, what do you mean? Tomorrow, he says gently. We'll talk tomorrow, after the ceremony. For now, just know this. You are not alone, Grace. You never were. I hang up the phone, more confused than before. Grandpa had money? He offered to help with my tuition? Then where did it go? The questions chase each other in circles. My head throbs, but there's no time to dwell. Tomorrow is the biggest day of my life. I just have to make it through one more night. Graduation morning. I wake up to a pounding headache and a text from Mom. Just landed in Paris. Have a great graduation, sweetie. So proud of you. Attached is a selfie. The whole family at Charles de Gaulle Airport. Meredith is pouting for the camera. Dad's giving a thumbs up. Mom's smiling like she doesn't have a care in the world. Like she hasn't abandoned her daughter on the most important day of her life. I don't respond. Rachel picks me up at 9. She takes one look at me and frowns. Grace, you're gray. Like actually gray. I'm nervous. It's fine. It's not fine. When did you last eat? I had coffee. That's not food. She forces me to eat half a granola bar while she drives. I manage 3 bites before my stomach rebels. The campus is already buzzing with activity, families everywhere, balloons, flowers, proud parents snapping photos. I try not to look at them. In the staging area, I check my phone one more time. Another text from Mom. Send pics. We want to see everything. They want to see everything, but they didn't want to be there to see anything. I'm about to put my phone away when I notice something. My emergency contact form for the university. I filled it out freshman year and never updated it. Primary contact, Douglas Donovan, father. Secondary contact, Pamela Donovan, mother. On impulse, I pull up the form online, add a third line. Secondary contact, Howard Donovan, grandfather. I don't know why. It just feels right. Then I see him, Grandpa in the front row, already seated, already waiting. He waves. In his hands, I can see a manila envelope. I wave back. For the first time all week, I feel like I can breathe. Grace Donovan? A stage manager approaches. You're up in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I can do this. I just have to stay standing long enough to make it through. 3,000 people. The sun is blazing. My cap feels too tight. The black gown absorbs heat like a furnace. My name echoes through the speakers. And now, our valedictorian, Grace Donovan. Applause. A roar of applause. I walk to the podium, one foot in front of the other. The stage lights are blinding. I grip the microphone, find Grandpa in the crowd. He's beaming. Rachel is next to him, phone out, recording. 2 empty seats beside them, reserved for family. No one claimed them. I clear my throat. Thank you all for being here. Today, I stand before you not just because of grades or test scores, but because of the people who believed in me. The words are there. I've practiced them 1,000 times. But something is wrong. The stage tilts. My vision narrows, tunneling to a single point. The microphone slips. I hear my own voice, distant, strange. Believed in me when I couldn't. Pain explodes behind my eyes, white hot, blinding. The world spins. I see Grandpa's face, confusion turning to horror. I see Rachel standing up. I see the 2 empty seats. And then I see nothing. My body hits the stage floor with a sound I'll never forget, screaming. Somewhere far away, people are screaming. Call 911. Get a doctor. Someone call her family. Hands on my face, Rachel's voice shaking. Grace, Grace, can you hear me? Grandpa's weathered hand gripping mine. I'm here, sweetheart. I'm here. I try to speak, try to tell them I'm okay, but the darkness is swallowing me whole. The last thing I hear before everything goes black is a stranger's voice, urgent and panicked. We're calling her parents now. Does anyone have their number? They won't answer, I think. Then I'm gone. This part of the story I didn't witness myself. Rachel told me later, when I could finally bear to hear it. The ambulance took 14 minutes. I was unconscious the entire time. At the hospital, doctors moved fast. CT scan, then MRI. Their faces got grimmer with each result. Brain tumor, the neurosurgeon told Rachel and Grandpa in the waiting room. Pressing on her frontal lobe, we need to operate immediately. Operate? Rachel's voice cracked. Right now? Within the hour. We need family consent. Rachel pulled out my phone, found my parents' number. First call, straight to voicemail. Second call, straight to voicemail. Third call, voicemail. Please, Rachel begged into the phone. Grace is in the hospital. It's an emergency. Call us back. Nothing. Grandpa tried next, called his son directly. Douglas picked up on the 5th ring. Dad, we're at the airport about to board. Grace collapsed at graduation. She has a brain tumor. She's in surgery in 40 minutes. Silence on the other end. Then Douglas's voice, strangely calm. Dad, we're about to take off. Can you handle things? We'll call when we land. Rachel told me Grandpa's face turned to stone. Your daughter is about to have emergency brain surgery, he said slowly. And you're asking me to handle it? Dad, the flight is 12 hours. By the time we get back, she'll be out of surgery anyway. There's nothing we can do from here. A long pause. Douglas, I want you to hear this clearly. If you get on that plane, don't bother calling me again. But Douglas did get on that plane. They all did. Grandpa signed the consent forms as my emergency contact. And when they wheeled me into surgery, I had two people waiting, my grandfather and my best friend. My family was 30,000 feet in the air, choosing Paris over me. I wake up 3 days later. The first thing I see is white. White ceiling, white walls, white sheets. The second thing I see is Grandpa, asleep in a chair next to my bed, still wearing the suit from graduation. The third thing I see is Rachel, curled up on a cot in the corner, dark circles under her eyes. I try to speak. My throat feels like sandpaper. Rachel stirs, opens her eyes, sees me. Grace! She's at my bedside in seconds, tears streaming. Oh my God! Grace! Grandpa wakes, his face crumbles with relief. My girl, he whispers. My brave girl. I try to form words. What happened? Rachel and Grandpa exchange a look, the kind of look that tells me something is very wrong. You had a brain tumor, Rachel says carefully. They removed it. You're going to be okay. Surgery? 3 days ago. You've been unconscious. 3 days. I turn my head, see my phone on the nightstand, charging. My parents? Another look exchanged. Rachel hands me the phone. Grace, maybe you should wait. But I'm already opening Instagram. And there it is, posted 18 hours ago. A photo of my entire family, Mom, Dad, Meredith, standing in front of the Eiffel Tower at sunset. The caption, family trip in Paris. Finally, no stress, no drama. Blessed #family time. 247 likes. 32 comments, all gushing. I scroll through the other photos. Champagne at a cafe. Meredith in a couture dress. Dad eating croissants. Not one mention of me. Not one. Grace. Rachel's voice is gentle. They know you're in the hospital. Grandpa called them. I look at my grandfather. His jaw is tight. They know. I stare at the photo again. No stress, no drama. That's what I am to them. Stress, drama. I close Instagram. I don't cry. I don't have the energy left to cry. 4 days after surgery, I'm getting stronger. The doctors say the tumor was benign. They caught it just in time. I don't post on social media. Don't comment on Meredith's photos. Don't call to confront my parents. I just exist, heal, try to process. Grandpa visits every day. Rachel practically lives in my hospital room. The nurses know them both by name now. You need to eat more, Grandpa says, pushing a container of soup toward me. I'm not hungry. Grace Eleanor Donovan, you will eat this soup or I will spoon-feed you myself. I almost smile. Almost. That evening, Rachel goes home to shower. Grandpa falls asleep in his chair. I'm finally alone with my thoughts. That's when my phone lights up. 1 missed call from Dad, 5 missed calls from Dad, 20 missed calls from Dad, 65 missed calls from Dad. My heart stutters. Then the texts start appearing. Dad. Grace, call me back, important. Dad. Answer your phone. Dad. We need to talk, now. Dad. Grace, this is urgent. Call immediately. Mom. Honey, call your father, please. Meredith. Grace, what did you do? Dad is freaking out. I scroll through them. 65 missed calls, 23 texts. Not one asks how I am. Not one says we're sorry. Not one says we love you. Just, we need you. Answer immediately. I show Grandpa when he wakes up. His face darkens. They know, he says quietly. Know what? He takes a deep breath. Grace, there's something I need to tell you. Something about why they're really calling. What do you mean? It's not because they're worried about you. His voice is heavy. It's because I told them about the gift, your grandmother's gift, and they just realized what they might lose. My blood runs cold. Grandpa, what gift? He looks at me with tired, sad eyes. It's time you knew the truth. Grandpa pulls his chair closer, takes my hand. 22 years ago, when you were born, your grandmother and I made a decision. We opened an education savings account in your name. For college? Not exactly. He shakes his head. We knew your parents would pay for college. That's what we told ourselves anyway. This account was different. A graduation gift. Seed money for your future. Your grandmother called it your freedom fund. How much? Grandpa hesitates. Enough to buy a small house, or start a business, or put a down payment on whatever dreams you had. My head spins. That's life-changing money. But Dad told me you didn't have money to help with tuition, that you could only help Meredith because Meredith asked. Grandpa's voice turns bitter. Your father asked me for money for both your educations. I gave it. I wrote 2 checks, one for you, one for Meredith. Same amount. Then where did my money go? Where? I don't know, but I can guess. He pulls out his phone, shows me a photo, a bank statement, 2 withdrawals on the same day 4 years ago. Your parents cashed both checks. They put Meredith's portion toward her tuition, and yours. I think about their new kitchen renovation, Mom's designer bags, the vacation fund they always seem to have. They spent it, I whisper. I believe so. And this freedom fund? They didn't know about it? I never told them. I knew, Grace. Even back then, I knew they treated you differently. This money was always meant to bypass them entirely, directly to you, on your graduation day. But now they know. I told your father when you were in surgery. I was angry. I said if he didn't come home, I'd make sure you received everything. Grandpa sighs. I shouldn't have said it like that, but I was furious. That's why they're calling. Yes. Not for me. For the money. They arrive the next afternoon. I hear them before I see them. Mom's heels clicking down the hospital corridor. Her voice too loud. Which room? Donovan? Grace Donovan? Rachel stands up from her chair. I should go. Stay, please. She nods, takes a position by the window. The door bursts open. Mom sweeps in first, face arranged in perfect maternal concern. Grace, baby, we came as fast as we could. She leans down to hug me. I don't hug back. You came as fast as you could, I repeat slowly. 5 days after I nearly died. The flights were fully booked. Instagram says you posted from the Louvre yesterday. Mom's face flickers. We were trying to make the best of a difficult situation. Dad enters behind her. He looks tired. He can't meet my eyes. Then Meredith, shopping bags in hand, actually carrying shopping bags into a hospital room. Hey, Grace. She doesn't approach the bed. You look better than I expected. Rachel makes a sound in the corner. I don't look at her, but I can feel her rage from across the room. Meredith, I say calmly, I had brain surgery. I know. That's so crazy, right? She sets down her bags. Anyway, we cut the trip short, so you're welcome. The room falls silent. Then Mom clears her throat. Grace, sweetheart, we should talk. As a family. She looks pointedly at Rachel. Privately. Rachel stays. Grace. Rachel was here when I woke up. Rachel held my hand before surgery. Rachel stays. Mom's lips thin. But before she can argue, the door opens again. Grandpa Howard. The temperature drops 10 degrees. Dad stiffens. Dad! Douglas! Grandpa's voice is ice. Pamela? Meredith. He walks to my bedside, takes my hand. I see you finally found time in your schedule. Mom starts to speak. Grandpa cuts her off. Don't. Just don't. If your family has ever come running back, not because they missed you, but because they needed something from you, Drop "they" came back in the comments. I know that feeling. I know how it hollows you out. But here's the thing. What happened next in that hospital room? It changed everything. I'd been waiting my whole life to say what I was about to say. So hold on. Because this is where it gets real. Dad tries first. Dad, can we talk about this rationally? Rationally? Grandpa's voice is quiet, which is somehow worse than yelling. Your daughter collapsed on stage. She had a brain tumor. The hospital called you 47 times. We were on a plane. You weren't on a plane. You were at the gate. I talked to you, Douglas. You chose to board anyway. Mom steps forward. Howard, this is a family matter. Grace is family. She's my family. And for 22 years, I've watched you treat her like she doesn't exist. That's not true. Mom's composure cracks. We love Grace. You love what Grace does for you. There's a difference. Grandpa turns to Dad. Tell me, Douglas, when's Grace's birthday? Dad blinks. April. October 15th, I say quietly. It's October 15th, Dad. He has the decency to look ashamed. Grandpa continues. What's her favorite book? Her best friend's name? What job did she just accept after graduation? Silence. Rachel's jaw is tight. She knows all these things. She's known them for 4 years. Meredith rolls her eyes. Grandpa, this is ridiculous. We didn't fly all the way back to play 20 questions. No, Grandpa says. You flew back because you heard about the money. The word lands like a bomb. Mom's face goes pale. We came because Grace was sick. You came because I told Douglas that Grace would receive her inheritance directly, without you as intermediaries. Grandpa's eyes are hard. Suddenly, after 4 years of ignoring her, you're concerned about her welfare? That inheritance belongs to the family. That inheritance belongs to Grace. Grandpa's voice rises for the first time. Her grandmother left it for her, not for Meredith's destination wedding, not for your kitchen remodel. Mom opens her mouth, closes it. I watch the calculations happen behind her eyes, and something in me goes cold. You want to know the truth, Howard? Mom's voice shifts, something raw breaking through. Fine. You want truth? Dad reaches for her arm. Pam. She shakes him off. No, he wants to make me the villain? Let's have it out. She turns to me. Her eyes are wet, but not with guilt, with something older, something wounded. You want to know why I've always kept my distance from you, Grace? Because every time I look at you, I see her. Who? Eleanor. Mom spits the name like poison. Your precious grandmother. The woman who spent 30 years making me feel like I wasn't good enough for her son. Grandpa goes very still. The first time I came to this family, Mom continues, Eleanor looked at me like I was dirt under her shoes. 26 years of snide comments. 26 years of Douglas, are you sure about this one? 26 years of never being enough. I can't speak. And then she died, and I thought, finally I can be accepted. Mom laughs bitterly. But then you were born, Grace, and you looked exactly like her. Same eyes, same stubborn chin, same everything. That's not Grace's fault, Rachel says sharply. I know that, Mom screams, then quieter. I know that, but every time I looked at her, I saw Eleanor judging me. I couldn't. She breaks off, covers her face. I should feel sympathy. Part of me does, but another part of me thinks, I was a baby. I was a child. I spent 22 years wondering why my mother couldn't love me. And the answer is, because I have my grandmother's face. A woman I never even met. Mom, I say slowly, I'm not Grandma Eleanor. I know. Do you? Because I've spent my whole life paying for something I didn't do. She doesn't answer. That tells me everything. I push myself up against the pillows. My body is weak, but my voice is steady. Mom, I say. I understand now. You had a painful relationship with Grandma. You felt judged. That hurt you. Hope flickers in her eyes. But that is not my fault. The hope dims. For 22 years, I've done everything right. Perfect grades, no trouble. I worked 3 jobs so you wouldn't have to pay for my education. I showed up to every family event. I helped with every party, every holiday, every crisis. Grace, I'm not finished. My voice doesn't waver. I did all of that because I thought if I tried hard enough, you would finally see me. Finally love me the way you love Meredith. Meredith shifts uncomfortably. But I was wrong, because you were never going to see me. You were always going to see her. I turn to Dad. And you. You watched this happen for 22 years and said nothing. He flinches. Grace, I didn't know how to go. How to what? Stand up for your daughter? Ask your wife why she flinches when I enter a room? It's complicated. It's really not. I shake my head. You chose the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance meant sacrificing me. Grandpa squeezes my hand. I look at each of them in turn, Mom crying quietly, Dad staring at the floor, Meredith, arms crossed, defensive. I don't hate you, I say, any of you, but I also can't keep pretending this is normal. I can't keep being the invisible one. What do you want? Dad asks quietly. I take a breath. I want you to see me as a person, not as a ghost, not as a burden, not as someone who exists to make your lives easier. And if we can't, I meet his eyes. Then I'll mourn the family I wished I had, and I'll build a new one. The room is silent. I turn to Grandpa. I want to talk about Grandma's gift. He nods, pulls the manila envelope from his jacket, the same envelope he brought to graduation. This is yours, he says. Your grandmother set it aside 25 years ago. It's been growing interest ever since. I take the envelope. Don't open it. I know what you're thinking, I say to my parents. You're wondering if I'll share it, if I'll bail out Meredith's wedding or pay for your next renovation. Mom starts to speak, stops. I'm not going to do that. Grace! Meredith finally breaks her silence. That's so selfish. Grandma wanted me to have it, not you, me. But we're family. Family. I almost laugh. You're using that word now? After you posted Instagram photos from Paris while I was in brain surgery? Meredith's face reddens. I didn't know it was that serious. Because you didn't ask. She falls silent. I look at Mom. I'm not taking this money to hurt you. I'm taking it because it's mine. Because Grandma wanted me to have options. To not depend on people who see me as an afterthought. What about us? Dad asks. Are we just supposed to lose you? You already lost me. My voice softens, just slightly. Years ago, when you stopped showing up, when you stopped asking how I was, when you let me become invisible. I take a breath, but I'm not shutting the door completely. If you want to be in my life, really in my life, you have to earn it. You have to see me as Grace, not as Eleanor's ghost, not as Meredith's backup, just me. And if we try, Mom's voice is small, then we can start over, slowly, with boundaries. What kind of boundaries? I look her in the eye. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Meredith moves first. She grabs her shopping bags, face tight with anger. This is insane. You're choosing to tear this family apart over money. This isn't about money, Meredith. Really? Because it sounds like I nearly died. You went shopping. She freezes. I'm not saying that to make you feel guilty. I'm saying it because you need to hear it. You need to understand what it felt like to wake up in a hospital bed and see your family posing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Her lower lip trembles. For a moment, I see something crack behind her eyes. Then she walks out. The door clicks shut behind her. Mom is crying now. Real tears. The kind that can't be faked. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry, Grace. I know. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I know, Mom. But I don't know how to fix it. Neither do I, not yet. I pause. But if you really want to try, you have to get help. Talk to someone, a therapist. Work through whatever Eleanor made you feel, so you stop projecting it onto me. She nods, wipes her eyes, leaves without another word. Now it's just me, Dad, Grandpa, and Rachel. Dad sits down heavily in the chair beside my bed. Grace, he says quietly, I failed you. Yes. I should have protected you. Yes. I told myself you were strong, that you didn't need me, but that was just an excuse. It was. He looks at me. For the first time, maybe ever, really looks at me. I can't undo 22 years, but can I try to do better? I study his face, the genuine remorse there. Call me next week, I say finally. Ask me how I'm doing, and actually listen to the answer. He nods, stands, squeezes my hand once. I will. Then he's gone too. 2 weeks later. I'm discharged from the hospital with a clean bill of health. The tumor is gone. The doctors call it a miracle. I call it a second chance. I don't move back home. I use a small portion of Grandma's gift to rent a tiny apartment near the school where I'll be teaching in the fall. It's nothing fancy. 1 bedroom, a kitchenette, a window that overlooks a parking lot. But it's mine. The fallout happens fast. Meredith blocks me on every social media platform. Her new bio reads, "Some people don't appreciate family." I screenshot it, send it to Rachel. Rachel sends back a string of middle finger emojis. 2 days later, I get a call from Rachel. She sounds gleeful. You're not going to believe this. What? Tyler, Meredith's fiancé, he heard the whole story. From his mother, who heard it from the hospital grapevine. Rachel is practically bouncing. He's reconsidering the engagement. I don't feel triumphant, just tired. That's not what I wanted. I know, but still. A week after that, I see on Facebook that the engagement party photos have been deleted. Then the engagement announcement itself. Mom texts me, Meredith is devastated. I hope you're happy. I stare at the message for a long time. Then I type back, I'm not happy about her pain, but I'm not responsible for it either. She doesn't respond. Dad, to his credit, does call. The following Tuesday, right when he said he would. Hi, Grace. Hi, Dad. How are you feeling? Better. Still tired, but better. A pause. Then, what did you have for dinner last night? I almost smile. Such a small question, but he's never asked it before. Pasta, I say. With Rachel. That sounds nice. It's awkward, stilted, but it's something. For now, it's enough. 3 months later, I'm standing in my new classroom arranging desks, 8th grade English, 26 students starting Monday. Rachel is helping me hang posters, or rather, criticizing my poster placement while eating my chips. A little to the left, she says, mouthful. No, you're left. I don't know why I keep you around. Because I'm delightful and you love me. I can't argue with that. The room is starting to look like mine. Bookshelves I found at a thrift store. A reading corner with mismatched pillows. A bulletin board that says, "Every voice matters." My phone buzzes. Grandpa. How's the setup going? Almost done. Are we still on for dinner Sunday? Wouldn't miss it. I hear him smile through the phone. Your grandmother would be so proud, Grace. Building your own classroom, your own life. My eyes sting. I wish I'd known her. You would have loved each other. He pauses. Speaking of which, I found something while cleaning out the attic. A letter she wrote before she passed, addressed to my future granddaughter. I grip the phone. What? She wrote it 25 years ago, before your mother was even pregnant. She just knew somehow. What does it say? That's for you to find out. I'll bring it Sunday. After he hangs up, I sit down in my teacher's chair, the one I'll use every day for the next school year. Rachel plops into a student desk. You okay? She wrote me a letter before I was born. Rachel's eyes widen. That's kind of amazing. Yeah. I look around my classroom, at the life I'm building from scratch. It is. Outside, the sun is setting. Golden light streams through the windows. For the first time in months, maybe years, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. 1 month later. A knock on my apartment door, Sunday afternoon. I open it to find Dad standing there holding a cardboard box. Hi, Grace. I blink. Dad? I wasn't expecting. I know, I should have called. He shifts the box in his arms. Can I come in? I step aside, let him enter. My apartment is small but cozy now. Plants in the window, photos on the shelf, Rachel at graduation, Grandpa and me at a restaurant, my students' artwork from the first week of school. Dad looks around, taking it in. You've made this nice. Thanks. He sets the box on my tiny kitchen table. I brought you something. What is it? Open it. I pull back the cardboard flaps. Inside, photo albums, old books, a hand-embroidered handkerchief. Grandma Eleanor's things, I whisper. Your mother was going to throw them out. Dad won't meet my eyes. I couldn't let her. I lift the handkerchief. Delicate flowers stitched along the edges, the initials ED in the corner. Dad, I don't know what to say. I know I can't fix 22 years. His voice is rough. I know I failed you in ways that can't be undone, but I wanted you to have these, to know where you come from. I set the handkerchief down. Look at my father. He looks older than I remember, tired, uncertain. I'm not asking for forgiveness, he says quietly. I'm just asking for a chance to be better. I think about all the years of silence, all the missed birthdays and empty seats, but I also think about those Tuesday phone calls, awkward and stilted but consistent every single week. Okay, I say finally. Okay? Okay, you can try. I pause. But Dad, trying means showing up, not just when it's convenient. He nods, swallows hard. I understand. Do you want coffee? He almost smiles. I'd like that. 6 months after graduation. I'm sitting at my desk after the last bell. The classroom is quiet now. 26 chairs, 26 stories, 26 kids who will come back tomorrow expecting me to teach them how to find their voices. A knock on my door. Ms. Donovan? It's Marcus, one of my quieter students. Can I ask you something? Of course. He shuffles in. 13 years old, always in the back row, rarely speaks up. Did you ever feel like no one sees you? My heart clenches. Yes, I tell him honestly. For a very long time, I felt exactly like that. What did you do? I think about my answer carefully. I found people who did see me. My grandfather, my best friend. And eventually, I tap my chest. I learned to see myself. That's it? That's a lot harder than it sounds. I smile. But once you know your own worth, you stop needing everyone else to tell you. He nods slowly. Thanks, Ms. Donovan. After he leaves, I stay at my desk a while longer. On my phone, there's a photo I look at sometimes. Me at 6 years old, holding my grandmother's hand in a picture I've never seen before. Grandpa found it in the box of Eleanor's things. She's smiling down at me. Even though she died before I turned 1, in this photo, she's looking at me like I'm the most important person in the world. I used to think love was something you had to earn, work for, sacrifice yourself for. Now I know better. Love is who shows up. Love is who stays. And I don't need to keep setting myself on fire to prove I'm worth someone's warmth. I know my worth now. That's enough. That's more than enough. 1 year after graduation, my phone rings while I'm grading papers, a number I haven't seen in months. Meredith. I let it ring twice, 3 times. Then I answer. Grace? Her voice is smaller than I've ever heard it. Can we talk? I'm listening. Tyler left, for real this time. She laughs, but it's hollow. Turns out his family didn't want a daughter-in-law from a family that abandons people in hospitals. I don't say anything. And I got into some debt. Credit cards. I thought Tyler would help cover it, but she trails off. I don't know what to do. Why are you calling me? Because you're the only person who doesn't want something from me. Her voice breaks. Mom and Dad are furious. They keep talking about how I embarrassed them. My friends only liked me because of Tyler's money, and I hear her crying, real tears, the kind you can't fake. Part of me wants to say, now you know how it feels. To be alone, to be abandoned. But that's not who I want to be. Meredith, I say carefully, I'm sorry about Tyler. I'm sorry you're hurting. You don't have to, but I can't fix this for you. I can't pay off your debt or make Tyler come back. That's not my role anymore. Silence. Then why did you answer? Because you're my sister, and I wanted you to know that I don't hate you. She's quiet for a long moment. I was terrible to you, she whispers. Yes. I don't know why, I never had to try. Everything was always handed to me, and you worked so hard, and I think I was jealous. Maybe. Can we ever be okay? I think about it. Really think. I don't know, I say honestly. But if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to try. Really? Really. But Meredith, you have to actually change, not just say you will. I know. I hope so. 2 years after graduation. I'm sitting in a crowded auditorium, waiting for Grandpa Howard to take the stage. The banner behind the podium reads, Community Educator of the Year Award. Rachel is beside me, dressed up for once. I can't believe he's finally getting recognized. He deserves it 10 times over. The announcer calls his name. The crowd applauds. Grandpa walks slowly to the podium, 80 years old but still standing tall. He adjusts the microphone, scans the audience until his eyes find mine, and then he smiles. Thank you for this honor, he begins. But I want to dedicate this award to someone else, my granddaughter, Grace. My breath catches. 2 years ago, I watched this young woman collapse on stage at her graduation. She had a brain tumor. She nearly died. He pauses. And she woke up to find that the people who should have been there weren't. The audience is silent. But Grace didn't give up. She didn't become bitter. Instead, she built a life filled with people who love her for who she is, not what she can do for them. She's teaching now, shaping young minds, showing kids every day that they matter. His voice wavers. Her grandmother, my Eleanor, once told me, the people who are forgotten by the world need us to remember them the most. Grace taught me what that really means. I'm crying now. Rachel is crying too. Grandpa raises his award toward me. This belongs to you, sweetheart, for having the courage to choose yourself. After the ceremony, I hug him so tight I think I might never let go. I love you, Grandpa. I love you too, Grace. Your grandmother would be so proud. I know, I whisper. I finally know. My family is complicated. It always will be. Dad calls every Tuesday. Mom sends cards on holidays now, careful and polite. Meredith is in therapy. We text sometimes. But my real family? They're the ones who showed up. The ones who stayed. Rachel, Grandpa, my students. And finally, myself. If you've made it this far, I want to share something with you. I used to wonder why my mother couldn't love me, why I had to work twice as hard for half the recognition, why I was invisible in my own family. Now I understand. My mother wasn't a villain. She was a wounded person who never healed from her own pain. Psychologists call it projection, when someone's unresolved trauma spills onto someone else. She saw her mother-in-law in my face, and instead of dealing with that wound, she let it poison our relationship for 22 years. And me? My weakness was my desperation for approval. I kept believing that if I tried harder, sacrificed more, achieved enough, they would finally see me. That's called people-pleasing, and it's a survival mechanism. It kept me safe when I was small. But as an adult, it nearly destroyed me. The brain tumor was the most terrifying thing that ever happened to me. But in a strange way, it was also a gift. It forced me to see my family clearly. It gave me permission to stop performing for people who weren't watching. So here's what I learned, and I hope you'll carry it with you. You can't earn love from people who aren't willing to give it. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep others warm, especially when they won't even look at the flame. Your real family isn't determined by blood. It's determined by who shows up when life gets hard. And finally, you are allowed to choose yourself. That's not selfish. That's survival. If you're in a situation like mine, if you're the invisible one, the forgotten one, the one who gives and never receives, I see you. And I hope you learn, like I did, that the only approval you truly need is your own. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you have your own story about family, about boundaries, about learning to see your own worth, I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story meant something to you, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. There's another story waiting in the description. Something tells me you'll want to hear it. Until next time.